Shalom, shalom. Salaki. Just kind of moving the camera, situating it. And I was doing the lesson, man, on Micah 7 and 10. And I got to record, and I was probably like 5, 6 minutes in on both of my videos, and stopped recording out of nowhere. So I'm like, you know what, to hell with that, man. I'm gonna just do an old fashioned recording. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is Micah chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And hey man, dealing with the Israelite woman, especially the end of, she is our enemy, you know, and mostly in part because when we get put back into power, our women are going to be subjugated under us. They're not going to be doing whatever the hell they want to do anymore. That's not going to be a thing of the future. It's a thing of the past. It's what's going on currently, but it's going to become a thing of the past, and hey, a lot of you women who turned your back on brothers, you know, you were with brothers, you seen certain miracles that were manifested in brothers' lives. If you a woman and you with a brother long enough, you gonna see some things, man. If that brother's really a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So when it comes down to it, you know, hey, you decide, hey, I'm gonna lead this man. I like what he say. I know that what he's saying ain't wrong, but just because it's him, I'm not gonna submit to him. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is not gonna just have another man of Yahweh, a man of the Lord, man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah waiting on you, man. Once you fuck up with a man of the Lord, man, that's pretty much it. A lot of you women are gonna figure that out. You be with a woman, man, and it's been women I done been with, and in particular, the mother of my kids. I was with her when I first came into the truth around about 7, 8 years ago. And there were times when she was like, well, you supposed to be a man of the Lord. Look at you. You know what I'm saying? How he dealing with you. Uh, when he coming back, you keep saying all this shit's gonna happen and this and that. Hey man, so I'm pretty sure I'm not the only brother that's been dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, your woman be the one sitting up scoffing you the most. She be, our women, hey, they jealous of us, man. Some of our women are jealous of us. They want to be in the power seat, but that's not gonna happen because Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with no damn woman. He's dealing with men. You know. Let's get there real quick. Let's get that Ezekiel. I believe that's chapter 34. This is Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 31. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, said Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So the Lord's pastors, his prophets, his teachers, his apostles, they're all men. The Lord ain't dealing with no women when it comes to breaking down these scriptures and getting into these scriptures, man. The Lord said he was going to make a man more precious than fine gold. When women hear us break these scriptures down, especially the end of in particular, they get pissed off because it ain't all about them. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to make the future of our nation about the Israelite man. Importance is going to be put back upon us. because in this society, women get all the goodies, they get child support, alimony, things tend to go their way constantly. But what we're gonna see is, especially you brothers who have women that turned their back on you, those women are gonna be trodden down as the mire of the streets when all hell breaks loose. And they gonna remember you gonna the Lord will bring it up and to your mind, man. Hey, you might be you know on your way about during Jacob's trouble, and Yahweh Shem Shai taking care of you. You might have other women with you. You might run across her, or whatever the case may be. The point I'm trying to make here is those women have a judgment, you know what I'm saying, set for them, you know, for hey, disrespecting a man of Yahweh Shem Shai is not something that's, it's not something that you gonna do and that's just gonna be, the end of it. Just because Yahweh Shem Shai not judging you, you know, instantly, that doesn't mean that he's not going to require what is past. A lot of you women have said a lot of proud things to the men of the Lord, whether you were with them or whether you were just a spectator on the side commenting on the scriptures, breaking them down wrong, speaking out of turn. All of these things, if you do not repent, you know, there's a judgment for that. There are women that I didn't had to walk away from because they just, you know, literally, like the scriptures tell you, you supposed to refer to your husband. You women out there, you supposed to refer to your husband as your Lord. You know, your husband is supposed to lord over you. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes down to who you pray to, nah, you ain't supposed to worship your husband like you worship the Lord. But there's an order. It goes Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, the children. You know what I'm saying? Your husband is supposed to be the one teaching you. You're supposed to learn from him. You're supposed to listen to him in all subjugation. You're not supposed to be bucking up against him, you know? And these women these days, they have a huge problem with that because it takes power from them and they're used to having all of the power. And who did that to them? Esau, Edom tricked you, you know? You fed into those philosophies due to you making that Gardenian pact with this serpent, man. And this serpent, the serpent is a man. It's Esau, Edom. The fruit represents his philosophies, his ideologies. You're not gonna get it. Yeah, you can commit adultery. You can. You don't have to, be subject unto your husband. You can do whatever you want to do. Hell, we'll pay you to leave him, or the man that you had children by, whatever the case may be. These women are used. They're used to Esau, Edom giving them, all of this power and all of these benefits. And the Lord putting the spirit on this devil to fall back from you women. Let's see, bear with me, I can about for sure. Now I had to leave a woman, I can we was talking and she, me, I'm a man's man. I'm gonna stand up when I'm talking and when I'm speaking about something that I'm passionate about. I might get a little loud, whatever the case may be. You know, um, I was dealing with a woman and she told me, "You're not gonna lord over me," and that's when I knew it was time to go. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you with the right man, there's utterly nothing wrong with following after him and being up under him because he's not going to lead you to the grave. He's not going to lead you in the wrong way. He's going to lead you in the way he's being directed by the angels through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shah. And it's been a few women I done dealt with, and I done had to tell them like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You're going to regret this decision. Not being cocky or anything like that, but just When you get you a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we come with a certain level of protection. There's a hedge around you because there's a hedge around us. And when you dealing with us, that's why the centurion, Peter told the centurion, if you believe you and your household's going to be, all of y'all are going to be delivered. So that being said, man, you do have women that are not going to have a man that are going to be delivered, but a lot of you women that just feel like, you know, you want to be delivered by the Lord alone, or you want the Lord to deal with you. If he sent you a man, you were supposed to get up under that man and stay with him. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with nobody directly. Like I said, it's an order. It's Yahweh Shai, and the man. Yahweh Shai is dealing with us. Yahweh is dealing with him. We're dealing with our women. Let me get a precept to back that up. Like I said, you do have some women out there that ain't. The Lord got everybody set up to play their part in his movie, and you know, everybody got a different lot. Some women, it might not be their lot to end up finding a man immediately, but eventually they're gonna have a husband. You know what I'm saying? And the majority of you women are gonna need a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to make it through these perilous times that are coming. This is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Why? Because there's an order. You know what I'm saying? We submit to Yahweh Shai. Y'all submit to us. Yahweh Shai submits to Yahweh. And so on and so forth. Bear with me, I can't about Kusha. I'm gonna find it, man. Just look it up real quick. So lock here. All right, so I need First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. So this is First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Let's see, I'm gonna start at verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So being in subjection unto your husband is a holy thing. It is a godly thing. It is a thing that you are supposed to do. If you're a righteous woman and you with a wicked husband, think about King David, Abigail, and Nabal. The Lord will eventually take you away from that man and give you to it, and he can take you away from that wicked husband and give you unto a man that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Either way, submission and between the husband and the wife, is mandatory, man, and it's scriptural. This is verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. So, referring to your husband as my Lord, not that you looking at him like you're not worshiping him like you worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but you giving your husband that due reverence. There's nothing wrong with that, man, and that's how you supposed to be moving as a woman. But these women, you know, part of the reason they are our enemy, like I was going into earlier, is because the Lord is getting ready to take them out of the power seat that Esau Edom's giving them, and he's getting ready to restore the Israelite man back into his rightful place. You know, they don't want to see that, man. They don't want to, every other woman, especially the women of the other nations. I see how they look at me. You know, um, I see how they, how they treat other brothers, how they look at us. You know, these women of the other nations, when they with the Israelite man, they walk around with us like they walking around with a trophy husband or a trophy. You know what I'm saying? So the only ones who look at us like we ain't shit is our own women. That's why I won't deal with them, man. You know, um, when it comes to the Israelite woman, you know, they're the quickest ones to put the Israelite man down, put him to shame, say he ain't shit, and so on and so forth. You know, the scriptures don't say that they are that there are our enemies for no reason. You know, let's see. Like a spirit got on me earlier to speak about the Gardenian pact that Eve made with Esau Edom. Well, that's coming to an end because all the benefits and you know ways that you can compass a man are about to be brought to naught. Yahweh Shemiah Shai is gonna turn things right side up. He's gonna put a lot of women in a position where they need a man to survive, and not just any man, a man of Yahweh Shemiah Shai who has that hedge of protection around him, especially in these last days. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. That wind, it represents uh, martial law, all the trouble that's coming, martial law, the MOTB, you know, this society going completely digital, you know, and just the fact that all hell is going to be breaking loose. You're not going to have the ability to call the cops to come save you from grape. You're not going to, your protection from all of these external things that trouble women, that they usually could call 911 and get it solved, and so on and so forth. You're going to have a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to make it through these times that are coming, through the time of Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to bring an importance back to men. This, and in particular, the Israelite man, the elect Israelite man. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. That vintage could, it represents your check, your EBT card, welfare, Medicaid, all of these different things that women get freely. They're about to not have access to it, and what makes these women careless is the fact that they have all of these cushions to fall back on. But things are going to change. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to, reestablish his men. And the Lord gonna put that shine on us, man. He's already putting that shine on us. Women know the difference between a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and some regular nigga in the world. A lot of the times women avoid being with a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai because we're gonna hold them accountable. We're not gonna just sit and deal with bullshit. We're not gonna let emotions run the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these beta males out there, hey, they make it easy to get ran. They make themselves run overable, so to speak. The men of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, you know, we live by certain standards, man. We hold ourselves and the women that we're with to a certain standard. So it's like it's just the same tricks that you would use on a regular joke. They ain't gonna work on us. That's why a lot of brothers are single. It's peaceful. You deal with less bullshit. You can get more work done. And at the end of the day, man, we gonna get women that are in order. We gonna get good, clean women. Especially in the kingdom. Isaiah 4:1 is gonna actually come to pass on this side. Isaiah 4:1 saying, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. Before I end this off, you got the Moabite women over there in the right spirit. They pretty much like, hey, to hell with the single life. We willing to house a man and so on and so forth. Only if we just want to be married, you know. So, I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this was edifying, and until the next one, I say shalom.